Hi there, and welcome to Fuzzy on the Details. My name is Fuzzy, and today I will be breaking down what I think is some surprising but very welcome late-breaking news for the Marvel Multiverse Role-Playing Game. I had the opportunity to discuss this news with the folks from Marvel who were good enough to answer some questions that I thought the community might have. So, big thanks to CJ for being so responsive as always, but thanks to you all listening as well. You guys are so good at sharing your thoughts in the comments section. When something like this comes up, I feel like I have a pretty good sense of what questions the community might have, which really puts me in a good position to quickly turn around a video like this. So, that said, let's get into the details. Earlier today, at the time I'm recording this, Marvel made several PDFs available for sale at DriveThruRPG. Each of these PDFs is referred to as a pack and includes content from an MMORPG hardcover. Let's look at these map packs first. We've got two map packs. The Cataclysm of Kang pack contains 10 maps from the hardcover adventure, and the X-Men expansion pack contains 13. You can buy them individually for $2.99 a pop, or get both of them for about $5. Okay, there's lots to break down here. First off, while there have been PDFs made available for MMORPG on DriveThru before, they have either been for free content, like the PDFs you see on your screen here, or the one other exception is a PDF for the Revenge of the Super Skrull adventure, which was a Roll20 exclusive adventure. This wasn't put out directly by Marvel. So until today, there's never been a PDF, in whole or in part, for any content published by Marvel made available for sale. So this is pretty big. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. So there's one other thing that comes to mind looking at these map packs. If you get the bundle, that's 23 maps for under $5. So that's less than a quarter per map. Personally, I've paid $2 to $3 for a single really good map. But these maps aren't really good. These maps are great because they're made by Brian Effin Patterson. And if you don't know who Brian Effin Patterson is, you haven't seen my Marvel Rivals video. So go give that a watch because we give Brian some well-deserved time in the spotlight. I'll leave a link in the description for that video, but suffice to say that Brian Effin Patterson, or should we say Brian Effin Patterson, he's an unsung hero of the MMORPG game as he has created every single map that's ever been published for the game. Anyway, if you don't happen to have access to the digital versions of these maps because you only have a physical copy of the book, this is an absolute steal. I took a little time to browse some of the other maps that are available on DriveThru and the price points they were available at, and Brian is just flat out one of the best in the biz. And if you don't have a copy of these maps digitally, I honestly can't recommend these packs enough. Okay, now let's look at the character packs. The first two packs include all of the character profiles from the core rulebook, including, this is important, all of the errata and other changes that have been made to those profiles. For example, if you squint, you can see that the Wolverine character sheet here has got the Tech Reliance icon in his traits, which is not in the print copy of the core rulebook. And if you look at Cap's iconic weapon description, that's got the longer description of his iconic weapon power from the errata. So that's really cool that we've got all of that updated here. Each of these PDFs is $5 if you don't buy them in a bundle. And they're split up alphabetically, which if I had one complaint, maybe I would have split them up between heroes and villains. Splitting them up alphabetically, I would almost rather just have them all in one PDF and make the decision to buy all of them or none of them. But that's a minor quibble. I feel like it might be harder to judge the valuation on these, but one way to look at it is that the character profiles represent about 40% of the page count of the core rulebook. So, $10 for 40% of the CRB. Is that fair pricing? Obviously, that's up to you, but again, it's just nice to have this as an option. Of the next two character packs, I think the Cataclysm of Kang one is particularly interesting because I can imagine someone not wanting the adventure, but wanting all of the great characters within it. So getting all of them for $5, that's a pretty good deal. Speaking of deals, you can get all 4 of these packs for a pretty good discount in the bundle. So again, I think what it comes down to is this. Just having the choice to buy these is great. So for example, I'm not a Kindle user, but I know a lot of people are. and many of them were thrilled to hear that the Kindle version of the Spider-Verse expansion is going to be available at the same time the hardcover is, after there being a delay with the Kindle format for the X-Men expansion. So, I hope that even if you're a Demiplane user or a Roll20 user and you don't need these PDFs because you've already got the digital versions, you can at least appreciate that somewhere out there someone is thrilled about this because PDF is their preferred format. Also, it ain't a bad thing to have more content available on DriveThruRPG. I guarantee you there are gamers out there that might be seeing these PDFs being made available, and maybe it sparks an interest in them to play the game. Okay, now let's go over some of the additional information I got from Marvel, and again, big shout out to CJ. 1. The plan is to make similar map and character PDF packs available for future releases as well. So for example, for the Spider-Verse expansion. Now, there's no guarantees about the timing, since that's somewhat dependent upon bandwidth, but the goal will be to get these out as quickly as possible after the release of each book. 2. These offerings are a result of community feedback and observations the team made about the community. So for example, Marvel saw a lot of community members really digging the maps, but some people didn't have a way to actually use them because they only had the print copy of the book. Similarly, folks didn't have an easy way to copy over character sheet stats from the book, so they could quickly access, print out, and then just hand a player a copy of the character sheet at the table. So these PDFs are out there to address those specific needs. And lastly, I asked CJ, what does this mean for the possibility of PDFs of full books in the future? So at present, there are no plans to release the full books as PDFs, as the goals, as I mentioned, of these releases are to provide players with additional ways to use and interact with all the content that's been made available already for us to play with. Okay, that said, I want to pivot now to what is some pure speculation. None of what follows was discussed or even hinted at in any conversation I've ever had with anyone at Marvel. But I have to believe that if the community responds well to these releases and it helps bring people to the game, then whatever internal policy or decision making that Marvel has regarding PDFs will probably be reassessed. Because there's one thing I know for sure, and this has been proven time and time again, is that CJ, Amir, and the rest of the team are really, really responsive to the needs of the community. And they're always looking for new ways to get us stuff and have fun with the game. So, if you think this is a step in the right direction and you would like to see them go full steam ahead with PDFs, just keep the feedback coming. That's how we got here in the first place. So, let them know in the comments. Reach out to them directly via marvel.com/RPG and let them know what you feel. All right, that's all I got for you today, true believers. But remember, if you're interested in seeing more of Brian Effin Patterson, please check out my last Rivals video. Go to his website. He's got a Patreon. Show him some love. He really is one of the unsung heroes of this game, and he deserves all the accolades he can get. So thank you, Brian, and thank all of you for listening. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. Bye.